That was a little sex jazz music for a late night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you might be, and welcome to a little bit earlier, but I woke up and couldn't fall asleep again. So I thought, let's just get it going. But Ides of March, famous day, and you all know the meme that apparently us men thinks about the Roman Empire at least once a day. So I thought, hey, what is that about? And apparently it's year 0362's birthday. I didn't know that. Happy birthday, and I hope you have a better day than good old Julius Caesar had on the 5th of March. But let's do the traditional. Sorry. Er det year 0362's fødselsdag? Hurra. Hun sikkert sig en gave for, som hun har ønsket sig i år, med dejlig chokolade og kager til. Hvor smiler hun, hvor er hun glad. Hurra. Men denne dag er også rar, for hjemme venter mor og far med dejlig chokolade og kager til. That's not how you spell J. I'm sorry. But happy birthday to you. And Penilla, get to bed. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Why the hell are you up? Are you planning on invading Denmark tonight? Did I catch you? But no. What is the Ides of March? It is, of course, the day where Caesar, while planning his trip to Parthia, went to the Senate. Well, that's a lie, because he actually didn't go to the Senate. The Senate was under reconstruction. So they were in Marius's theater, which is kind of ironic because Marius was the man he helped throw off the throne when he was younger to take over power in Rome with the first triumvirate, which was him. No, he was in the first triumvirate with Marius and Croesus. Yes. And then he had his civil war against him. And on the way there, they tried to warn him and say that Brutus and the others were planning against him, and he didn't listen. And Marcus Antonius was delayed, so he couldn't go and save him. And he had, was it 45 Dabarunis? And the last one, when he draws his toga over his head, he famously said, "Etu otu," which is not confirmed, but is something Shakespeare wrote in his play about him. It sounds good that he said, "Even you, my son Brutus," but he didn't do that as far as anyone knows. But he was stabulated in a theater, and only 1820 years 1920 years later, America would have a president who got pew-pewed in a theater. History repeats itself. That wasn't on the Ides of March. So there will always be a history lesson. You're making me choose between my two favorite YouTube dudes. Now I have to go back and forth. Well, go to the other one. Penella, you have been sick for the last 2 weeks. But no, that was today's history lesson, because we all apparently think about the Roman Empire every day. I never understood why we would be doing that, other than Rome is a nice city, and going at the Forum Romanum and watching all the excavation is very impressive, and also a little. I don't know if you ever. A lot of you probably never been to Rome, but you can go. You can go into the Forum Romanum and see all the old temples and stuff, but you can also go into the hill where the emperors had their palace. And it's kind of weird. I remember the second time I was down there, I was walking around alone up there on the Palace Mount, the Palantina Hill, and I was at some point it struck me that people that I read books about have walked maybe potentially on these cobblestones. That's that makes history a little more coming alive. Like when Pernilla and I went to H.C. Andersen's house and stuff like that. That's funny when you can go and see stuff like that. You had to read that book in eighth grade English. Which one? Which one? About Caesar? But his name was Caesar. No, his name was Kaiser, and that's where you get the word Kaiser, like the German Kaiser from. But we call him Caesar because talking about Caesar. You will be in Rome in May. Perfect time to go to Rome. I would go in May or September because the weather's getting good, but it's not getting too hot. It can get really hot in the summer. But May and September are great months to go there. Oh, Expert is live now. I shouldn't have been streaming. It's because he's doing member streams on Sundays. I don't see those. I went to Italy, but only for 2 days for hockey. I want to go back and actually be a tourist, especially Rome. Rome is a beautiful city. It's sadly there's a lot of pickpockets and there's a lot of because there's been a big influx of immigrants from Africa. A lot of those will sit on the streets and try to sell you knockoff goods, and then it becomes worse every year. And my sister got married in Rome, so we go there every 3 to 5 years and just meet up. There's a standing invitation that every year at the weekend that coincides with their wedding day, they will be sitting at a restaurant at this hour, and if you want to join them, you can come join them and have a dinner with them. So, but every 5 years they'll have like, okay, we're going to pay for dinner, we're going to hold a party, and we'll go there. It's right next to the Trevi Fountain. Wonderful place, great food. So I've been there four, five, 6 times. I can't remember now, but I really like it. I like just walking around, and I like history, so I think it's interesting to go around. If you go down there, try and go into some churches. Of course, you need to go see St. Peter's Cathedral, but go try and see some of the smaller churches. They are beautiful. It's amazing. Sign up for some of these tours, the walking tours, the one where they are free, but they will recommend that you pay like 20 euros or something. It's probably the best way to see Rome. Don't do I'm going to sit in a tour bus and listen to an audio tape. No, find a walking tour because they will find some little place that's not on the official tours. And I did a night walking tour, and in like the second backyard to a house, there was a small little church, probably for like 50 people or something like that. But I don't know what you call it, but we call it the main part of the church is called the ship in Danish. So that's the ship, and then you have up where the altar is, and that part with the altar was actually a replica of the church that your Congress is also a replica of. So that was really weird to see that in a room where maybe it was a church for like 50 people. There was like 5 pews on each side. And coming in there at after the sun had gone down, and you just walk in, and people are in there praying and having their nights or evening service, and very respectful, very down to earth, and you have some local guides who can tell you these are the stories you don't hear on a tour bus. I really enjoy these walking tours if you go somewhere. Nothing like a middle of the night sleep. No, but I woke up at 2:30 and I couldn't fall back asleep, and so instead of trying to sleep, back up at 4, let's just go at 3. Oh, you shouldn't do it. It's too hot. Going to Italy and Sicily for 3 weeks in May. Meet me there. No, because I'm going to America in June. I like that genuine is not a Paul. Remember, everything under 55 inches is poured on. I should stop. Oh, you read Caesar by Shakespeare? Not my favorite. I think Shakespeare is so overrated. It's it's like one of those things. Oh, you must read this book. If you go in and see 100 books you must read before you die, and you look half of them, you think Dostoevsky. Why? Okay, I'll try. Oh my God. I would rather read a Jack Ryan novel. That's more interesting. Hello, hello. What did I just say? I don't know. What did I say? Don't ask me anything. Said that Caesar was overrated and anything under 55 inches is poor. Don't. It's something we talk about on my shows. Tolstoy, Homer, the Iliad. Tolstoy, I just don't like the way it's written. Homer, the Iliad, you need the abridged modern versions because the original is unreadable because it's stories that's written down from being oral. It's more the way it's written. It's the way that you used to perform it in front of a campfire to talk about the Iliad. The story is good. I remember one of the first audiobook cassettes I ever had was about Odysseus and his trip home from Troy, how he ends up as a beggar in his own home with all the suitors for his wife, Penelope. Yeah, Penelope was his wife. I think, yes, maybe, yes. And what was it? She had said anyone who could string his bow could marry her because he was the king of Ithaca and he hadn't been seen for 20 years because he upset the ocean god Poseidon, so he gave them bad weather on the way home. Then he had all that with the Cyclops and the Sirens and all of that. Turkey, who turned his men into pigs. And then he came home and he was dressed like a beggar, and everyone tried to string his bow and they couldn't do it. And then he walked up dressed as a beggar, and everyone had been making fun of him. And then he strung his bow and then he killed all the suitors. That's how you do it. Good old bloody one. Our middle son told my husband that he really enjoys Macbeth. At least Macbeth, something happens. I think it's kind of like with modern art, where people already transmit it. Yes, I think it's a lot. These books are like modern art, where people just think it's really pretentious to see. Oh, well, you might not understand it. No, it's really from a different time, and the world has moved on. We had to read. I think you call it Catcher in the Rye, and Mouse and Men. The one with the simpleton who kills a mouse or something, then he gets pew-pewed in the end. And it's okay. You can read older stuff, but I don't think a lot of the stuff that they put on the 100 greatest books are probably the greatest books in the world. Shakespeare was definitely into dudes, terrified to admit it. I bet he had a baker he would scream from the mountaintops, probably right in his case. I love baker's baguette. I have heard that from other guys that they like the baguette. Yes, I am early tonight because I couldn't sleep. Oh, look, I thought you had a show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I started and everyone, Side Eyes came in and said, "Oh, you're really trying to destroy the expert." And I said, "No, no, 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 I'm not." I refused to read any of those books in school. Some of them are okay, but when you have to sit and read, I think maybe it's because you're forced to read them when you're a kid. I had this rule with my kids when they were younger because my kids are the generation where phones and tablets and stuff kind of was in its infancy, and a lot of people are like, hey, just let them watch a movie. I said, okay, every time you're with me, there will be 1 hourly reading session Saturday and Sunday, and I would give them each you call them egg watch, those you when you cook something, and I took them to the library and said, any book you want. I don't care if you're reading Twilight or you're reading Captain Underpants, but you have to read 1 hour every day because I have an idea. It's really good for your imagination to read because it'll force your imagination to make. You never know how people think, but when I read, I kind of have this inner movie going on while I read it, and I think it's good for kids' imagination to be stimulated, so they don't just sit there and watch a movie and do nothing. So we had 1 hour of reading when they were on vacation with me or on visitation with me because I uh, I think it's good for you. But I also know not everyone reads at the same level, and it has to be fun to read. I was the type of guy. I read the never ending story in one day because what a good book, and then I just stayed up and read it all night, and that's and that's actually not true. The story ends, so it's a lie. I had to read the Rime of the Ancient Mariner in high school. I don't know what that is. I was supposed to read Treasure Island, eighth grade. I faked it best I could. I'd like to actually read it now as an adult. Treasure Island is actually an okay book. Hey, MG. I had an English class that one whole marking period was listening to Stairway to Heaven and decipher the meaning. I hate that song. If I could read, I would have the same movie in my head. Well, I can teach you. Dude, you know my rule, you steam when the feeling hits you. Axl Rose, Montreal, 1992. Beowulf, kind of weird. Well, the funny thing is, I'm not reading dyslexic. I'm writing dyslexic. I read at a very high level, but I can't spell. So I always loved reading books. They called it lazy dyslexia when I was a kid because that was before we had all the diagnoses. So I was just lazy, was what I was told, because I learned to read too fast. And when you read, you don't spell each word. Most of us will read from like comma to comma or full sentences, and you don't notice that. That's why if you see a sentence, even though some words are misspelled, because you know what the sentence mean, all the words will make sense to you, and I will not see if you have a spelling mistake in a sentence because I'll just read the sentence. I don't read the words, if that makes sense. But I can't spell because I learned to read really fast, so I don't know how to put the sounds in my head. Doesn't when you do the doesn't make sense. I don't get how people can hear how to spell words. I can kind of go and do some of it and say, how do you spell this word? But most of the times, I have to have done it a lot of times, and then, oh, this is how you spell it, and I'll still get size and they and them and all of that. I'll get that wrong all the time. Thank God for the correction in your autocorrect, because I can't hear word. I don't know how words are spelled. I can just read them. So it's weird. Second worst song is "Jump from Van Halen." That's Brøndby's game song when they run on the pitch. So I hate that song. Oh, my club beat the former champions yesterday, 2-1. Oh, it's Kristen. Hello. It was a great fundraiser today on Massa, over 7,000. What a star-studded panel he had put together. Federo, Melanie, Mullenlaw, Britt, Lauren, Massa, Will. He's really doing a lot of great work, and I think he's a really cool guy, and I love that everyone is just hanging out, and it's very respectful, even though we were a lot of people. I have this inner rule that I don't like having more than 5 people on a panel at a time, because it'll start getting a little hectic, and sometimes we were 2 people who would start talking at the same time, but still it was very respectful. People didn't try and talk over each other, and I liked it that you had both the insights and you had a little bit of oh, this is how we have it, how we live. It's I just liked that whole vibe we had, how we had it going on. But as always, Massa says, I would like to thank Melon Little, Baker, Bedrow, Lauren, Britt, Laurie Mullins, and Clara for joining tonight. All are fake. And people say, it looks real to everyone else. Maybe you're jealous. That makes more sense. I'm not jealous of anything or anyone. I have the perfect life. Married for 44 years, have 2 successful daughters, 1 granddaughter who is smart and beautiful, and have absolutely no debt. I think that's a damn good life. And yours? Well, Hulu, if this is what you call a perfect life, and you still feel the need to go on the twits and tell people who just sat and tried to make a good conversation, try to help someone out who we think is being wrongfully accused, your life might not be that good, because it sounds a lot like you have a shitty life. Because why would you waste your time on a Tuesday? Oh, sorry, on a Sunday, going around doing this? It must be because something is missing in your life. Or could it be, oh, Angie Karen Reed post, oh, she follows Big Red. Killer Karen and her loser PR piece of shit. Killer Karen with her PR pussy boy. Defending the truth. Defending the truth. Caveman did a damn good job today. Fuck this trash chat. Don't waste your time. It's a fake turtle boy, and Babs is a fucking bitch and takes over. From what I've heard, you all are a bunch of human trash. I have never such trash in my life, and 2-man, 2-faced motherfuckers. Tell me your life isn't as good as you thought your life was. And seems a little like it's not that great. Yeah, her poor family. If that's how she acts at home, poor family. Does she talk to her granddaughter with that mouth, pussy boy? And who who has been married for 44 years spells boy with an I. I'm dyslexic, but not that dyslexic. Her husband was watching Yellowstone, most likely. Oh, show is over in 10 minutes. Money has showed up. That's the thing I don't get with all of this. I know I kind of left all of this as the drama behind with all the interpersonal drama over in Canton, Mass, because I'd got a little stale talking about the car crew and all these idiots. But I still have a special place in my heart because, as you know, me and Loophole, we are fighting to see which of us can wrestle Tuesday from her husband, because I think both of us will be the one who finally makes her finish a thought. So I keep a little bit of a tap on them just to see how my girl Tuesday is going. Thank you so much. Oh, it's Kristen for becoming a member. So I also get some updates from her co-host. Sadly, luckily. And as you said, they're so mad. Big Red, my girl, the Ginny Jams, and I are getting ready to leave Mama Drama after a fabulous trip this weekend to the beautiful city of Boston. What I can tell you after meeting the Albert McCabe and Higgins family and their friends, along with so many amazing people from Canton, is these are the salt of the earth people. Good people, kind people, unassuming and gracious people. Can't wait to come back. Do you know who never has to tell you that they are good people, kind people, unassuming and gracious people, salt of the earth people? Most of the times, it's people who are good people, salt of the earth people. People who needs your PR machine to go out and tell everyone else how amazing they are. Like Big Red. After meeting Carl and Albert, I am even angrier at what has been done to him. I can promise you, if you were to speak to him for 5 minutes, he would probably threaten you to get into a fight. Bang, bang. It would be clear that there's no possible way he could have done what Karen Reed repulsively accused him of doing. What have she repulsively accused him of doing? Nothing? Boston Defender, that's David Yannetti. You and your client, her family, and all of your super fans are the most disgusting, cruel people in the world, and I cannot wait until Karma family finally have a seat at your table. These are the good salt of the earth people. These are the friendly people that Tulu would rather watch than the people who were on Massa's fundraiser. And thank you, Massa, for being so generous, letting my stupid ass get on with all these great streamers. Renagina, you are the best. Thank you so much. It's a lie, but I'll take it. I needed that little content boost. I'm doing legs later today, so I needed a little boost of the good old self-confidence. She's a nut job, that carp lady. Yeah, Big Red is, I think she's the weirdest of all of them. I've never understood why that woman spent her entire life. Isn't she in the Midwest somewhere? Why is she spending her entire life? Oh, Baker, you're in Denmark. I actually sometimes make a little bit of money on doing this. She's just a big red machine, not cool like Kane, but who's spending her entire life fighting for the McAlbert family, who, based on everything I've seen about that family, isn't that great? Take out the part about did they or did they not kill John O'Keefe. Just look at them. Look at that horse-faced monstrosity that attacked Aiden in the middle of the street. Look at Colin Albert shooting, what was it? Coffee martini or whatever. Oh, the underage drinking. He's such a great guy. He'd never done anything wrong. Oh, how can they accuse him of anything? All these fancy people. Brian Albert is an asshole. Anything you have seen from him, you can tell he's an asshole. And all these people like, oh, I wish that was my family. You wouldn't show up to Thanksgiving if you were part of the McAlbert clan. Stop whining. Is she paid by the word or the paragraph for her PR bullshit? I actually think they'll do it for free. No, he would run and get someone to fight for you or to fight you. Yeah, but remember that video where isn't it martinis he's drinking with some girl? Oh, she's in Indiana. Yeah. I'm not that smart. Oh, she lives in your town. Do you all have that very long neck? Oh, you're just jealous because you have no neck and you're fat. No, it's because after I mentioned it the first time I was watching the Foreskin show, she changed her camera angle so you couldn't tell that her neck is genetically structured to eat the top branches of a tree. She is getting paid, even if it's just in getting part of the killer club of liars. I think she just likes to hang out with Drama Llama. Drama Llama, I've never watched that Stop Trying to Make Fetch happen. I only seen clips of it. I'm sorry. I do like Rachel McAdams, though. Do you know she was 26 when she played a teenager in that movie? I think Lindsay Lohan was the only teenager in the movie. But I always see her as Rachel McAdams. And then Tuesday is the one who's trying to make Fetch happen because I've been watching it for 4 months now, the Foreskins, and I still wait for her to try and finish a sentence, but it always just ends up in backlash. Lashback, sorry. Big Orange, her head is not even red. We don't have any hatred towards the gingers on this channel. They are soulless, so we can't even hate them. What happened with Hellfish? I see some people saying condolences. What's going on? What did I miss? Oh, condolences. My grandma, who I had my mother's mother lived in a house next to us when I grew up. And even though I didn't bond as well with her as I did with my father's mother, and my mother's mother died in 89, and I can remember we were not allowed to go to the funeral. That's about all I remember about. But I had good times with her, missed her, all of that. My paternal grandmother passed away 2 weeks after I joined the Navy. I think. Yeah, I joined on just before Easter, and I think maybe a week or two before Easter, and then I called my sister one day and say, hey, what are we doing in the weekend? Oh, you didn't hear? Grandma has gone to the hospital. And I'd just been home on my first shore leave where I was dressed up in our dress blues, which is more black when it's Danish, with the little Donald Duck collar and everything. And I clearly remember I thought something was wrong because my grandma had a little stool she would be sitting at in her kitchen because she smoked half a cigarette a day to not get fat. And when I came in my uniform, she was like, oh, and she wanted to get something, and she couldn't get up from the stool, so I had to give her my arm and help her up. And I remember that's the first time I've ever had to help her with anything. And 3 days later, she was in the hospital. So when I had my depression, I got these thoughts that it was my fault because if I hadn't shown up in my uniform, she would never have died. I know. When you have a depression, you have weird thoughts. So, but that that kind of ruined my. In Denmark, you have like basic training for a month, and then you go to your units and get your unit specific training. So that was a little rough. But yeah, that was weird because I just remember when I had to give her my forearm so she could grab onto it and I could get her up. I wasn't didn't like that, but he was the grandma who because my dad was in the military, my uncle was in the military, my grandfather was in the military. We that was the military side of the family, and I don't know it's an irrational thought thinking, oh, it's because you showed up in your uniform because he was 70. How old was she? She was born in 19. He was the one who was born in 1914. So she was 83 years old when she passed away. So that's a good age. No, don't no no medical advice on this channel. Don't start smoking to lose weight. We have a big scandal right now in the Danish national election because one of the leaders of well, the leader of the Liberal Alliance in Denmark, liberal means low taxes, low rules, not like your liberals, which means dye your hair blue or whatever. But he's done coke, and he might have done coke back in the day once or twice while he was a leader of the party. For one, I don't recommend any drugs, not even the weed. Well, it's legal. I don't like it. You do you, boo. But so that's a big scandal in the middle of an election campaign that, oh, he did coke. And someone said, well, he was really stressed out at that time. Like I said, if I needed to lose some weight, I'll do coke because it really makes you go faster. So that I just love that everyone was like, "Oh my God, you can't be a leader of a party and do coke." We gave our oil rights to Norway because we sent a foreign minister who was so drunk he couldn't be at the meetings. Not like we didn't. We have a leader of another party who is known as the draft beer guy because he always drunk. Trust me, I used to be in the same party as him. I've seen him really drunk. But no, election campaign. Oh. So I said, great. Every time before we have a vote from now on, every politician should do a piss test before they're allowed to vote. Pretty sure not a lot of them will be voting. He was 83. That's a good age. Said no 82-year-old ever. No, but again, your body is designed to live till you're 60. That's why we get so sick after that. So he got half a life extra. If you're not doing coke, you shouldn't be a leader. Don't do coke. Don't do any drugs. Drink instead. Drinking is good. I mean, don't do drinking. Yes. If you have blue hair, great for you. If you have a mullet, you're cool. It has nothing to do with how your hairstyle is. It's just, it's more how weird you are. Oh, hey, Sarah. Everyone is getting the Rat House avatars and makes it harder to tell who. Oh, finally, I can see the avatars again, and then you all change them. Alcohol is poison. You're not Scandinavian enough. Kissima, it's, I don't know, 10 o'clock. It's allowed. Nah, I'm fine with it. So, hey, so did you struggle in army training because your nan still had your arm? Good one. Good one. On tonight's episode of My Big Fat Grifter, that's my show. Haley Miles, no, you sit here now. You sit and you watch the entire show. And you think about what you did, young lady. I'm, yeah, everyone is in a rat suit. Expert, does the White Rabbit know that you have these conversations with other women? Um, mm. What's up? I'm up. You're up. 190, 200 people are up. So I hope everyone is. I'm up way too early. I'm supposed to start my show in 45 minutes, but I couldn't sleep, so I started early. Yeah, it's. I have to put on the dad voice and say, Haley, enough of that, young lady. You sit over there and you think about what you did. No, no excuses. You know exactly what you did. Now, be quiet. 15-minute timeout. Hey, Mother Hardy. I am early tonight. That's one of the things the ladies have said a lot. Sometimes I am a little fast. This time I'm 45 minutes fast. The White Rabbit is happy Expert doesn't have these conversations with her. I had to tell him he better behave or I would be calling her. Because again, you forgot again at the end of the word. Hey, pretty cookie. Where's the spanking paddle? At hand. So, Haley. Weather is crazy here. It's 75 and sunny today, raining now, and will be 25 and snowing by the morning. Yeah, I saw that Minnesota was getting hit by a snowstorm. I thought, aren't we in March? And then people said, no, it's the Midwest. Okay. It's 40 degrees here at a 3:45 in the morning. So we are luckily turning the corner and getting into a little bit. It's going to be a lot of rain, but it's going to be a little bit hotter. So yeah. Yeah, that's why I threatened to call her, because then she will have to go up to his room and say, Baker just called me. And you know those eyes she would have sent him, and he would stop. Where's the baguette mold? It's behind the Harry Potter. Yeah, but not in that way. I won't do the. Oh, oh. There won't be no for you robbing after. Robbing? Did I already remind you of what the Ides of March is? I did it in the beginning of the show. This is the day Caesar, talking about Caesar, went to Marius Theater, and on the way, people said, hey, don't go there. They plot against you. And he said, because he was going to plan his invasion of Parthia, which is Iran, Iraq, that area. And when he came, they him, and not true that he said itu putu while he covered his face, and it's probably not true either that Neo said, what an artist dies in me. And I thought, are you having sex while you're committing suicide? What? Oh, it's a night show. I can be a little more loose. Baguette always hiding behind Harry. Well, some of us manscape. I'm not convinced that's a Baguette mold. That's because you have a dirty mind. You out the rubber Baguette. Oh, I hit. Yes, I hit the rubber Baguette behind Harry Potter. Leave the treasure trail alone, man. Well, have you ever seen a tree that's alone in a field and a tree that's in a wood? If it's alone, it seems a little bit bigger. Just saying. Ginger with a soul comes in bragging, I got 10 inches today. Oh my. Oh my. I could probably do that too if I had 2-3 sessions. Hey, Harmony. It's all whiny and quivering. It's not quivering. Oh, and sex, yeah. Am I streaming Wednesday? I'm on the road again and needed everyone pay Baker to keep us company. I will be covering the trial out of Utah on delay like the other day. So if court going on Tuesday, I will be streaming Wednesday. If not, I'll probably do a little stream. Anyway. That's not the question. The question is, why is Zach? High sway, sure. Had one more. Oh, I forgot to say this because we don't celebrate it here because we are not Catholic. But happy St. Patrick's Day. Hey, girl. He doesn't have his tight pants on anymore. So happy Patty's Day from all of the nice people in Boston. Imagine looking at this mug and thinking, yeah, I'm not going to be drinking today. I'm not going to say anything. It kind of looks like he forgot his dentures. Is that someone we know? Well, if you followed the Karen Reed trial, you should know him. It's because he's not in his tight pants with his semi-boner on that you probably doesn't recognize him. Show me a Ukrainian on St. Patty's Day. Could it be more American than Irish celebration with a Ukrainian? No, I think you just have to be a drunk to be able to celebrate that. Yes, Richard's closing arguments tomorrow, but I'm following another case out of Utah where a nurse stands accused of unaliving her friend for 1.5 million in life insurance benefits. But so far, all they have proven is the victim lied a lot, claimed she had a lot of illnesses, and could potentially have done it herself. Speaking of a whiny baguette, yeah, well, this whiny baguette is with a W because he seems really whiny. KGB St. Patty's Day. Well, if you read Plevin's book, you will read about the Black Irish. I don't think Plevin understands what the Black Irish was and why they were called that. But if you look at Sue from Boston's Twit Sweat from yesterday, where because she's a little insane, she was also talking about, oh, if you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and you should treat the immigrants like your forefathers who came over. No, absolutely not. The Irish were absolutely discriminated against when they came to America. Don't treat any immigrants like they treated the Irish. Most of them ended up in slavery. So don't do that. And then Sue figured out, oh shit, I made a dum-dum again because I tried to make a political statement but didn't know what I was trying to allude to. So she changed her statement. I love when dumb people write on the internet. As elitist as New England is, you think they would be able to pronounce simple words correctly. I've learned that every American word is spelled said exactly as it's spelled, like salmon, but I don't think they got that memo in Massachusetts. I wonder if he was booed at the parade. I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, they were horribly treated. My ex was Irish American, and he said they were treated just like the Mexicans. They were actually, some of them were treated worse than slaves on the plantations in the South, because they had no rights, because they had the old animosity coming with them from England. The British never was that fond of the Irish either. So when they came over, they were treated like indentured servitude. They were basically slaves as well. And it was absolutely horrific. It's one of those things that everyone forgets because we don't talk about it, but it was horrific. Yeah, in England, they are not fond of the Irish, but that's because of the R. I didn't know. I know babies come from the stalk. I haven't figured out yet how you stick the stalk up there to put the baby inside the woman. I missed that part. I skipped a lot of classes in school, you can tell. But I know that babies are delivered by a stalk. So I don't know if that's why you have a lot of winter babies, because in the springtime women might be out sunbathing bottomless and they are a little akimbo, and then the stalk just rams up right up there. I don't have to ask Ginger because she just got 10 inches. Maybe she knows how the stalk can get in there. I don't know stuff like that. Well, because how else are you going to have a nightmare? Hey, Debwit. Throw that out there for no reason to say, I'm not Irish, but fucked a few. Oh my. Oh, oh my. Hey, allegedly, maybe. The stalk needs to get away from my fanny. Well, I don't. No, it's because the show is about to end, and I thought you could all go. I know Kesima will be maintaining his nether regions after this show, so maybe someone else needed a little inspiration. All my Irish ancestors would smack Sue in the face for being dumb. He is absolutely. I love that. Yeah, I don't know. I love that she. Oh, the social media is gonna hurt Kelsey Fitzsimmons' trial. Sue, the mainstream media isn't really doing the heavy lifting, are they? Believe all women. I'm a feminist, but I just forgot to talk about that case for the first 6 months, and then all of a sudden, when it got a little traction online, I started talking about it so I could blame the online media. Sure. Well, you should to see on my screen, he's way bigger. Who is this all people are saying hello to? I haven't seen all in chat either tonight. So, yeah. I vote for an oh my and Baker's Batty emoji. Well, I don't have that many emojis left to give because I think you need more subs for it. Well, it's good to stay busy. If I know him, he have had a rise in his pants all stream long. But before we go, let's just enjoy. Boozy Beauty, who you probably all know, says, fact check of the day. The House defendants are big mad over Karen Reed's 54-page amended complaint. This is the same tired dog whistle PR playbook we've watched for years, and their post is nothing more than a pileup of words meant to get their supporters riled up. They expect you all to stay stupid. And of course, Drama Mama, fact check, and I know this firsthand. The witnesses haven't read a single page of this nonsense, not one. Can I tell you something, Drama Llama, you absolute pillock? It's a really good idea if you are a defendant in a case, just to read up on, hey, what is in the papers against me, because you might have to remember you're going in and having a deposition. It could be good just to read these papers, even though you claim they're full of lies. I love that the full McAlbert PR machine has been running overdrive since that amended filing came out. Oh, she's using wrong words. Is it even lawyers? I saw Ginny Jams, of all people, complaining about how things are written. You sit on a show with Tuesday, who can't speak English. Tuesday, who's dumber than I am. Well.
Lawyers tend to kind of like look out for their own a little.
Right. I adore you guys. I really do. I'm just so grateful to have officially met you guys face to face now, and I hope we can chat again sometime.
We
blink twice if you need help.
I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't understand how you still award that credibility.
And you claim other people can't write a piece of paper, but you stream with her. I'm so sad that they didn't stream this today. It's they don't stream till next week. Can they read at all? Yeah, I know. They're not as dumb as people think. I think they're very conniving and very smart, but I don't think any of these. Yeah. Melanie did an interesting reading tonight of the amended papers, new findings. Yes, I saw Melanie was going live with it, and well, she had it set up, and then I fell asleep. Caught the back end of it when she was talking about the Oscars, so I didn't catch what her take was on the amended filings. But I have to say, I was a little miffed that she was going so hard on the Oscars, because that's not the greatest competitions that you need to. You are people of culture. You are people who know what's cool, and I think Melanie missed some of the coolest competitions you can have. Oh, sorry. No, this one.
Finest mullets in Pennsylvania. People are already showing up and looking awesome, so we're really excited for today. Hey, mullet is definitely short in front and long in back. The longer in the back and shorter in the front, I think the better. We had 80 pre-registered, and there are still people registering right now, so there's going to be a big turnout this year. The first year, we were even blown away at how much bigger it was than we were expecting. And we have.
I have one.
Let's see some mullet.
An outfit that kind of fits the theme too.
USA! USA! USA!
This is my first competition ever. Me and my barber decided we would do it a couple months ago, and then when we saw the date, we decided this was the time. So we did it, freshened it up the other day, and then today I'm here. We call this, it's a little bit of urban, a little bit of a classic mullet, kind of going for the tiger on one side and sunshine on the other. So that's the design. It's Monday morning. I don't think many people are off work in my age bracket. Also looking around, no one has anything too creative. It's all just kind of the classic business in the front, party in the back.
A COVID era kind of had me wanting to do a mullet. So I've had it for about 5 or 6 years now, and that's pretty much it. It just looks so good. I can't take it off. You know?
This was what people should be watching instead of the Oscars. Who cares what dress you're wearing? Look at those beautiful, beautiful Americana mullets, or as we call it in Denmark, Swedish hair, or maybe Bundesliga hair after German football players, because they all had mullets back in the day. It's your cousin. Oh. Yeah. And apparently they're coming back. God save some sex for the rest of us. Too much of a good thing in one place. Yeah, I haven't seen that many mullets since wrestling in the early 90s. Excuse you all. Zach is being a freaking adult, and it's like sort of, oh my, Miss Divine, you and Zach need to get a room. I'm getting pregnant just reading all of you two's. Oh my. Talking about oh my, more like a oh my. Hey, Crazy Amy, thank you for joining us yesterday on the show and trying to keep expert in check. Didn't succeed, but we tried. Farley, you have at least half of your sons have a mullet. Don't cut. The other have the bowl cut. Zach will always be Zach to me, not Prince of Wales. He's trying to put on some royalty because he got a new bow. I love a glorious flowing mullet. Yeah. What? This isn't Aiden's show. This is not Smex Club. Behave. I don't know what you're going to call it. Some call it the front pocket. Some call it the taco. If you want to call it the holster, I just know that then you have to call Dax the Derringer because and it doesn't have 2 shots in it. It has what's smaller than a 22. That's what it is. Shut up. You live in Indiana or somewhere. Everyone has a mullet. I've seen movies. Joe Dirt. It's a documentary. No, that's Sue's life. Crazy Amy is so nice and so great when she shows up. Yeah, when she shows up late. Masa, don't thank me. Thank yourself and thank all the wonderful people in chat. I'm just lucky that you allowed me to be on with all those great people. I'm just an idiot sitting there saying, I'm in awe of all these wonderful, smart people. So thank you again. And it's amazing that out of nowhere with a case, of course, it helped that we had been through the Karen Read, so we were looking for injustices in Massachusetts, that this came along and it showed itself to be just as horrible, maybe even worse. I kind of feel like it's worse what's happening to Kelsey than what's happened to Karen Read. I know the charges against Karen Read was worse, but the way the system has been treating Kelsey with her incarceration and all of that, I feel like somehow it doesn't get the fame like the Karen Reed case. She doesn't have the big flashy lawyers like Karen Reed did. But if you look at how she has been treated, Karen Reed at least was out on bond, could kind of live a life. This poor woman has been through hell. And of course, when you have a 4-month-old in it, it's just heartbreaking to see. So thank you, Masa, and thank you, Melanie, Federo, Mullen, Lauren, Will, and Britt Happens, of course. It's all those wonderful people. Because it was so nice to learn you weren't make-believe like Baker said you were. I didn't say she was make-believe. I said she was from California, and you said, I don't recognize that state. I said, it's a part of Mexico over by the Pacific Ocean. And you said, I have never been further west than Memphis. And I said, well, that's a you problem. Have you had geography? And you said, yes. I said, what do you know? Tennessee. So I don't know the rest of it. Hello, Alessi's girl. Chelsea was pew-pewed, so that's worse in my opinion. But it's just the circumstances. You had that poor little baby. You have that poor mother who just fought postpartum. Yes, a man was killed in the other case. But I just feel the way the system, you have a judge who goes out and do ex parte meetings. That's highly illegal. And then the system starts protecting her as well. You put a woman in a prison where she's been threatened over a gram device that she doesn't need because there is no alcohol abuse. Yes, she might have been yelling 2 days before at a bachelor party because she have had something to drink. But if the charge has nothing to do directly with alcohol, how can you put on a scram device? It's not like there's a known history of drinking. Well, she had a DUI when she was 20. Yeah, so what? So effing what? Haley, get some sleep. Thank you for showing up. California is only in the movies. I saw the Birth of California the other day. It's a documentary called Sorrow about Antonio Banderas, who starts out as an alcoholic and ends up as the husband of Katharina Zeta-Jones. Great movie. You should watch it. Tells the entire story about how California was made. Someone called Santa Ana, and I don't know. It's a good movie. I have such a visceral reaction to what happened to Kelsey, her holding that little chunk when she opens the door to the cops. It just kills me. Yeah, and remember, that's the last time she holds that little chunk. And we are, 7 months down the road now? 8 months down the road? That's the last time she held her baby. Yeah, but I just have... There's so much more injustice done in her case, I think, to say. Safe to say, Kelsey had every human right as a mother and a human violated all at the same time, and it continued for months. Exactly. That's the big old problem. That's Desperado. No, that's how Mexico was made. And that's not... that's Salma Hayek. No, that's not some. Yes, that's some. You can see her boobies. I like that movie. Ooh. Talking about boobies. Hey, Danny. I don't know why I talked about boobies and Danny in the same. It's because she has all the women. Danny is the women magnet. Assassins with Antonio Badass, Sylvester Stallone, and Julianne Moore was an underrated movie. It was really a great movie because it also showed Sylvester Stallone can play other roles, but they weren't ready for him at that time. I liked that movie as well. I liked the first parts of Tulsa King and then I fell away from it because he plays kind of like a parody of himself, I feel. Follow Up, I don't know that one. Great movie, yes. Sometimes my kids drives me nuts, but I couldn't imagine not being able to see my babies. Also, instantly stopping nursing is so painful. Yeah, that must have been horrible, but hey, she was fighting for her life, so that was probably the least pain she was going through. Don't we all? Don't we all? I've even heard some people like them hairy, or has them hairy. Oh, I don't know why I pulled up Crazy Amy. Laura, it's okay. I was about to end anyway. Who is Baker slapping with the paddle of his? Is that how we got to Antonio Badass and Sylvester Stallone? No, this was because someone made a bad joke that that came out. Yeah. Well, you can't help what nature gave you, so some women has that. No one mentioned. Some women have big hands as well. We are covering the range of Sylvester Stallone's acting ability. Best stream ever. Well, I actually think he's. Did you see the one where he was a superhero? I think it's a Prime Video or something where it was like a superhero movie where he was an old super villain, and then a kid found him, and I really like that movie, and I don't know anyone else who have watched it. It was actually a good movie. It was a low budget, it seemed like, but that was good. Well, maybe we need because my kissing booth didn't really give me any money when I was in Tennessee. Maybe we need a slapathon in Tennessee. Are you going smoking after, or what? Since it'll take you 3 minutes. Ginger with a Soul already said she got 10 inches tonight, so you don't have to lie and say 3 minutes. We all know 13 seconds on a good day. If I remember correctly, Dazed and Confused was the paddle flick. OG Matthew McConaughey. Is that the creepy one where he is saying, the good thing about high school girls, I get older, but they stay the same age? That probably wouldn't fly today. Do you travel with the paddle? I could. Of course you watched it. Of course. That's because you have a great sense in movies. Yes, that's how I tried to raise funds for my my trips. So far, haven't raised any. So yeah. Well, MJ, you have to jump on a plane and come to Tennessee, and then we can just whoosh, 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 whoosh. I'm on the screen. Libs. Well, you're getting your holster filled by sacks, so 13 seconds is probably a week's worth. I hear, but I know this is a lie. All men know this is a lie. But I hear women don't like when you try to get Radio Tokyo. But we know, Danny, you and I, even though I'm 27 years old and a virgin, I haven't really tried it. But we all know that you just have to get the dials right. Women really like that. If you didn't star in Rocky, you can't be considered the best ever. I have my Rocky t-shirt on. Samaritan, yes. Samaritan is the one. You're AI, so you're not allowed to go to the States. Well, just do like... What was that crappy movie with the guy? Oh, The Lawnmower Man. Just go on the internet. You can move freely. That was a really bad movie. Are you doing this slapping or are we spanking you? Well, it says Baker's Baddies, so I don't need that imprint on my butt. Rocky shows why Philly is trash statue to a fake boxer. You shut up. Radio Tokyo is how babies are born. I was sent this by my Wondermut Marissa. Lawnmower Man, did that have Pierce Brosnan? Bronson? That's Pierce Brosnan. No, it was... Who the hell was in Lawnmower Man? It was a shitty movie. From 1992, when the internet was... Everyone thought that... Yes, it is with Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, it was such a bad movie. An intellectually disabled gardener and Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Lawrence Larry Angelo, a scientist who decide to experiment on him in an effort to give him greater intelligence by stimulating his brain. Oh my. Using nootropic drugs and virtual reality computer simulations. The experiments give Job superhuman abilities, but also increases his aggression, turning him into a man obsessed with evolving into a digital being. It's such a bad movie. Don't watch it. I cannot recommend that movie. Other than Rocky, what else has come out of Philly? Rocky 2. Philly cheesesteaks. Rocky 3. Rocky 4. Rocky 5 doesn't exist. That's a bad movie. Rocky 6. Creed 1. Creed 2. Creed 3. And that bell with the crack in it. No, not the fun crack. My friends and I used to think the Lawnmower Man was hot back in the day. Ugh. Cheesesteaks with cheese whiz. I only had because Brandon was telling me I needed to get a Philly cheesesteak when I was in the States, so I had a layover in Philadelphia and I bought a cheesesteak. I know airport food, but a McDonald's in an airport is the same as a McDonald's on whatever street you go to. First of all, I had to pay a sugar tax, and then I had to pay a tourist tax. On an effing layover, I'm not going to use your hospitals on a layover. I can't even go to a hospital on a layover. I would probably be treated in the airport if I was treated for anything. So I paid like 8% extra tax plus sales tax. And let's just say it was subpar. Really subpar. A Philly cheesesteak in anywhere else, no whiz is good. Yeah, I'd never had cheese whiz. So, yeah. But my 1 hour presentation has now lasted an hour and 20 minutes, and it's 4:20. Good time. So I think I'm going to go back, get a few hours more sleep, and then I'll go hit the gym. What is this show even about? I want my money back. Zach, this show is about your holster and how you're going to get it stuffed by, oh my, Miss Divine. Checking is allowed with Zach. Yeah, look, money's here. Time to end the show. Billy produced The Roots, Kevin Bacon, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Hart, and the world-famous Tasty Cake. I had Tasty Cakes. They're not that tasty. I'm sorry. Thanks, Baker. Nice dream to send me off to Dreamland. And I end 10 minutes before I was supposed to start. I'm just saying I'm quick sometimes. Kessima, thank you, Rocky, for being our Lord and Savior and for being the greatest pound-for-pound boxer ever. What city is Fighter from? The one with Mark Wahlberg? That was a good movie. Brit Happens is showing her shake. Oh my, I need to get to her channel. Hey, look, Marissa. I'm wearing the shirt you sent me. It's from Boston. I like that movie. I like that movie. There are 2 more minutes in a night than there are 30 minutes in a night. Sometimes it's okay to be quick. 30 seconds is all you get. Pernilla, get to bed. It's way too early to be up when you're in Europe. The Fighter was filmed in Lowell, Massachusetts. Yeah, that's it. That's where it's from. I like that movie. But everyone, get to bed. Dream about sunshine, rainbows, and Big Red on her way home from meeting the McAlbert family and Colin, the greatest kid who ever lived.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't have cared.
You wouldn't have cared?
No.
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
No.
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
Probably did. Everybody has.